When the animal guides returned,
Mm-hmm.
do you have many interactions with the animal guides?
Some of them.
Do the animal guides tend to interact with anyone other than just animals on Earth?
Oh, let me explain what we mean by what's meant by animal guides. There's not guides for animals. Guides that are portrayed by animals.
Oh!
I mean, they can work with animals if they need to.
Okay.
But they're guides who would look more like animals.
So it would look like maybe a wolf or a elephant or
yes. Or a leopard.
Or a heron or something like that.
Yes.
Let me get this straight. Your guide realm is what people here on Earth would call the old gods.
The more human-looking gods.
Human-looking old gods. But that is a separate realm from the more animal-looking gods.
Yes.
Okay. So the human-looking ones have been pushed to the side and forgotten, but the animal ones were actually erased.
Yes.
So they're animal guys, but they're not for the animals. They're for souls in general.
Yes.
They're not like, you're not like, okay, you as a old god guide could be a guide for a dog or a human or and the same for them. They don't have.
Yes.
So are they connecting back with people?
Certain ones.
Certain very specific ones.
Yes, they're not just connecting with people in general. They're cautious.
Well, the general populace is not even ready to connect with you guys, and you having more like them.
Yeah. Appearance.
I would say that some indigenous tribes would be more comfortable and look forward to and interacting with the animal guides.
Yes.
But
they're working very well with the native tribes, and especially in Africa. Africa and Central South America. And the West Coast. Like Oregon and Washington and up there.
Yes.
I've been to Canada. Oh, and Australia.
So they're reconnecting with them.
Yes.
Speaking with them, talking with them.
Yes.
Have they explained to them what occurred?
Simply. Very simply. They didn't go into great detail. They haven't really explained to them what's going on yet. They're still getting introduced.
They're in the introduction phase.
They're getting comfortable with each other phase.
To know who everyone is and where they...
Yeah.
And how to interact.
It's on the early stages yet.
I do know that in some ancient... I'm going to say sculptures because they are harder for them to...
Get rid of. Yes.
There were very much representations of different gods that had animal-like, as they call gods or guides that had animal features.
Yes.
Such as in Egypt and the Mayans.
Yes.
And almost every culture would have some of these. Though I will say the ones known in the European cultures have been so dismissed or pushed aside that you really don't hear much about.
I can tell you which are the Nordic ones.
Okay.
There's the narwhal.
Okay.
Looking god. I can't tell you their names yet.
Yes.
But I can tell you what they look like. Or which ones they're based off of. The reindeer and the owl.
Okay. The owl is still very well known.
The wolf, not as much, but the reindeer, the narwhal, and the owl were all very strong. And also Inuit. The Nordic and the Inuit animal guides are the same guides, pretty much. They travel back and forth.
I think just about, as far as we're just about everywhere, the owl is always seen as being very wise.
That is a misconception. It's not wisdom, it's finding the right path. Which could easily be mistaken for wisdom. But it was seen, if you saw an owl on a path, you knew to take that path. That was usually seen as a sign. Because, especially during the day, you didn't see owls.
So to see an owl would be a very unusual thing.
Yes.
And they took that as a guidance that this is something,
Yes.
you should take this path. It'll give you a better outcome. Okay.
The reindeer guide was all about family. And the narwhal was the seafarer's guide.
That's some information I didn't recognize before. But there's been so much happening in Tibet.
In the Tibet area, one of their big guides is the snow leopard.
I can see that.
Usually cat guides are the most common.
Because even cats that are, they're the cat
Souls
in the cat forms here, there is a strong telepathy
and spirituality
to them, that those who are inclined in that way almost always connect them together.
Almost every culture has a cat guide. But strangely enough, there is no lion guide. It could be that the lion guide hasn't returned yet. But there are jaguar guides, there are leopard guides, tiger guides, small cat guides, bobcat. Oh, the bobcat guide is hilarious. He's a fun one.
Okay, I get very strong. There is a lion guide.
Okay, then he probably hasn't either made contact with me yet. Okay, that's what it is. He hasn't made contact with me yet. He just said, I'm here, I just don't want to talk yet.
That is fine. I'm not going to make anybody talk before. But it's like,
I'm busy, don't bother me.
okay, that's fine. I've been gone for a gazillion years. I finally come back and nobody will give me a moment to rest. Leave me alone.
Yes.
There's so many that have returned. I mean, there's so many and all over the place.
And right after cat guides is bird guides. There is a big one in multiple cultures is the heron, ibis, flamingo guide. There's different ones.
Yes.
There are a lot of those types.
If you see that there's a person who has particularly drawn to certain animals very strongly, is it likely that they have a guide that somehow...
It's more likely they had past lives like that.